So Jane, what do you think of Bunda Cliffs?
It's very nice if you don't get near the edge. It's a bit scary. I don't like heights.
Yeah.
But very, very pretty when you look along the coast. And it's just that steep drop.
And we got a fantastic day yesterday without too much wind and a bit of blue sky. But this is what we woke up to this morning, folks. It really is just amazing. Walk out your front door and that's what you're greeted by. Yeah, fantastic. Probably one of the best places, if not the best place, to view the Great Australian Bight. Got the drone up yesterday, got some cracking footage. I'll drop that in next. But yeah, we've crossed onto the Nullabor, probably about, I don't know, 40-50 k's back or something. So we're now on the treeless plain for the next couple of days. I'll drive about 350 today and we'll camp up at a bush camp and then do another night out before we hit Norseman. But we've visited Bunda a couple of times before this but never camped, and to be able to get up next to the cliff and spend a night was just, you know, really quite special. It's a iconic part of Australia that we can tick off on the road. Cheers, see you on the next one, eh? So we're kind of almost halfway between the border of South Australia and between the border of Western Australia, South Australia and Norseman. Janie was a bit naughty. She was supposed to tell them we had these chilies. She did tell them we had chilies, and then she didn't give them all, because if you don't know, quarantine coming this way, you've got to give them all your fruit and veg.
Well, unbeknownst to me, I had 2 bags of chilies.
Yeah, so we were able to save 2 bird's eyes. Garlic was okay because it was in the freezer. So tonight we're just going to marinate some prawns.
They were rescued by cooking them this morning.
Yeah, you can't bring fresh crustaceans into WA. So we're going to knock that all up, beautiful flavours, and then just toss it in some pasta for dinner tonight. This is a really good location because we're about 1 kilometre off the air highway, so Harper, we don't have to be too concerned about Harper running onto the road, and you don't get any road noise. So we're going to spend a nice night here. Cracking little spot to do some cooking. Great when there's no one around. You can turn the chicks up loud and people aren't going to complain. This is just the garlic and the chilli that I chopped. It's just about ready. Just sweating it down a little bit. Going to add that to the prawns and some pepper and salt, just get some flavour into those, and we'll knock the spaghetti up. Add the spaghetti in, crack a beer, and sit down and have a nice meal here on the Nullabor.
Do you wanna go out?
Well, we're almost at the end of our Nullabor trip. It's been pretty good. This is our third overnight camp, and we're at Newman Rocks. It's about 150 kilometres from Norseman, so very close to the end of the Nullabor. Plan is to head down to Salmon Gums today and stay in a caravan park. I was saying to Jane yesterday, gee, we've picked some pretty good weather to cross the Nullabor. I'd be a little bit concerned about it, but today I noticed we're going for 42, so it's a good day to head to a caravan park with a powered site. Yeah, but no, great transit. The Nullabor is an interesting place if you take the time to look around. The most interesting thing was the amount of traffic on the road, certainly trucks. You get a very small idea of the amount of freight that transits the country on any given day, but also the number of people like us towing caravans and getting out there and seeing Australia. So we'll see you probably from a camp outside Esperance next. Better get packed up and get on the road before it gets too hot. Well, we were supposed to be spending our last couple of days in Margaret River before we headed up to Perth, but we've actually been in Perth for around about a week or so. We're actually parked up on a 7-acre property in the Swan Valley that's partially owned by Jane's nephew. They're letting us use power, which is great because Perth is in the middle of a run of 37 plus, so it's a wee bit warm outside. But just to put some context around why we had to change our plans, in December one of our large windows delaminated. The windows are actually two parts. There's a flat part on the inside and this bubble part, and they're laminated together or bonded together on the edges. And in December, one of those laminations gave way, so both halves of the window separated. We had it taped up because we weren't able to get it replaced. At the petrol pump in Norseman, Jane let out an expletive and said the window's gone. So the tape had failed and the whole window, well, predominantly the whole window, had come off, and we were faced with a 900mm by 900mm opening. Fantastic people at JB in Perth managed to scrounge a window for us, and we, rather than going to Esperance, hightailed it to Perth, and that's our replacement window. So we're here now for the next few months with Maddie's wedding coming up in May, but we have a fantastic trip planned from the early June. We're going to head to Kalgoorlie and then north to Lake Ballard and onto the Great Central Track, tootling around Alice Springs, surrounds, not Alice Springs itself, for obvious reasons. And then we're heading down to Cooper Pedy, onto the Oodnadatta track and onto the Birdsville track, because we're heading to the Big Red Bash in early July. So probably won't see a lot from us between now and then, but look forward to to sharing the adventure that is the Great Central Track, the Oodnadatta Track, the Birdsville Track, and of course the Big Red Bash. Cheers.